Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Pine Pass in Cities Skylines. And Cinnamon Camera really likes that one house and traffic. Anyway, so first things first, I want to address a problem that we encountered during the last episode, and that is this area is just struggling. We repeatedly have houses with automatic bulldozer kicking in because they're going abandoned. And we've got houses complaining about low land value. And if we take a look at our land value map, we can see that, indeed, a little bit of light blue into this corner, but over here, it's as low as it can get. We have one little pocket there. And I'm guessing that's just because there's a house there. Maybe they really like their tree. Actually, that's their neighbor's tree. Anyway, or the junk pile in their neighbor's backyard. That's lovely. That's what you want your kids to come out and play next to, a rusted out van. Anyway, so the park did nothing to enhance our land value over here. I'm not completely surprised by that. It's not a big park to begin with. And secondly, I think the assets really only give benefit when they're close by, though the fact that these guys aren't getting any entertainment value from the park is kind of surprising. I mean, there are gates for them to get in. I don't want to put gates everywhere, but somebody did suggest that that is the reason why. I'm not convinced, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I will always be willing to try something, but I don't think that this gate is going to do anything for our land values. No, it didn't. What's happening over here is the lack of services. We have healthcare there, but this corner of town is significantly struggling. Same with our fire coverage. We have good coverage back here. Good coverage over there, good coverage over there, well, except for back there. Very, very poor here. And then the same is true for our police coverage. We don't have a post office in town. So we're going to do several things over here. First and foremost, we're going to give them a post office. And I'd really like it to be turned this way so that entrance is on the corner. I just think it looks nicer. On its own, that doesn't really do a whole lot for land value. That's not the services they're looking for, but I did want to get a post office in town. We're going to come along here and unfortunately lose a few of our businesses, but before we do that, we are going to extend the park, and I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. I clearly intended to. I mean, if you look at where I've got an area for paths to come through, it looks like I very much meant to do that. I am going to go ahead and put the gates in. I hate to do it. I would rather just leave this a free park, but I mean, I know I can go through and set the prices free. There we go. I want that node right there. But you know, that's not the way the game mechanic works. I mean, yeah, it is if you want it to, but it encourages you to charge. So we're going to come back in through here, and we are just going to, I mean, we're doing okay on the city budget. Our population is slowly coming up. I believe 6,500 is our, big town milestone. And I think we'll get there just by taking care of this land value problem. We're already starting to bring it up a little bit. It's not as bad. We've got a little more blue there. But let's just jumpstart it. Let's give them what they need. So we're going to come in here and we're going to get a clinic right next to the park entrance. And we're also going to bring fire protection, and we're going to bring it down over here. Not on that collector, but right next to it. And that alone, yeah, we got into that just in time to see that wave. All the just lowest land value, this white color, was replaced by the next one up. And look at what that's done for the neighborhood. just instantly led them to start upgrading their houses. So the education wasn't a problem. The services were our problem. So getting that taken care of has brought this neighborhood back from the brink. I am very happy to see a lot of pedestrian usage in through here, especially at our crosswalks that we put in. We may even want to put a signal on those at some point. Right now, there's not enough traffic moving up and down this road, I don't think, for it to be a big issue. And this is just a big white space right now. As the park upgrades and we get more amenities available, well, then we will get some upgrades going for that. So that should solve our land value problem over here. We should see that starting to come up. In fact, it looks like we're here or here now. Yeah, we're closer to here in this back corner, but a lot of it is more at this level. So we're doing good. I think as buildings continue to upgrade, that we will see even more progression in that. But I do want to go ahead and throw in a police station back here as well, just to make this neighborhood feel safe. And that is helping out over here. It's helping out more over here in commercial. And we should see our land values continue to climb. And we should also see our buildings starting to level up. You know, we have some level 5s over here in the original part of town. Looks like land value is, again, what's holding us back over there. That should resolve itself over time. Good thing we just built a fire department, because that is now a raging inferno. So that solves that issue. Easy, easy fix. The next thing I want to turn my attention to is just today, just this afternoon, well, around noon, I was taking my mom lunch because I am a good son, and I drive right by a pretty big forestry industry. They don't have their logging area where they actually cut down the trees right there at their main building, but it's a fairly substantial logging industry that sits right back off the state highway that I drive down to get to where my mom works. And, well, hello there. That means this is what we're going to look at as well. Maybe. We might get to that. But there are some things that we're going to want to definitely kick in here. We don't want to start doing any high density yet, though, because we don't yet have the ability to block high rises. And I don't want a bunch of high rises to start. I think I'd be okay with maybe some low rise, maybe redeveloping some of this into some low rise like apartments and things like that, and maybe even around the city center here, but I don't want to get big skyscrapers. But anyways, one of the things that I liked about the forestry industry that I drive by was how it was just set off back off the highway a little bit, and it just kind of had a nice, I don't know, it just looked good. I liked it. So what we're going to do is adjust a few things here. I want to bring our main building down. And that's going to require some work, unfortunately. And I have an key on? No, I don't. It is going to require just a little bit of reconfiguration just to get this all to work out exactly the way I want it. I want this to go, oh, there we go. That's the direction I want it to go, right like that. So when it's fully upgraded, it will face out that direction. And then I just want to get this connection made here. So we're going to come in here. We're going to continue using our dirt roads for now. And then what I want to do is take a look. I don't know how I managed to click that. I want to take a look at our terrain. These forests, the actual woods, will conform to the terrain fairly well. So I want to see if I can get the camera to stop moving around. That's a neat problem. I was doing that. Oh, that's not quite long enough. Let's try that again. I want to see about relocating where we're actually cutting our timber And the reason being is Stirling Davies Lumber, I mean, they're going gangbusters in the resources that they're producing. But the thing is, they're shipping a lot of unfinished logs out to somebody else to turn those into paper and plain timber. And they're missing out on an opportunity. Plus, you know, their goal is to become a major employer in the area. And right now they only employ 83 people. So we are going to take some liberties here. And we're going to move all of the actual logging down just a bit, making sure that that's not going to cause too much noise down here. Looks like we'll be fine. And then we're going to expand that slightly, just a little bit, and we're going to do that through a greenhouse. Does that not have any noise pollution? None. Oh, that's beautiful. That'll give us the buffer that we need here. So we're going to have a little greenhouse for saplings. And then we're going to come in through here. I don't know. Do these guys need heat? Let's find out. Do you need heat? Nope. And then we're going to relocate a few other things as well. First things first, I know I keep clicking in and out of the forestry, and I'm very sorry. I don't really like the hide it mod. I've had issues with it, so I don't use it. I want to focus these off of this road, and I want to add one more. We could even go with something a little bit like this, just for something different, just to spice things up. And then we're going to bring in one more road right here. Okay, so the storage does require heating. Good to know. And we're going to bring our planed timber in back here. And then we are going to expand. Stirling Davies is going to take out a loan, get a grant, whatever he needs to do to expand so that he can indeed start providing those workplaces and fulfill his lifelong dream of being a major employer, of providing people with a good, honest income that takes advantage in a sustainable way of the area's natural resources. And to do that, we are going to add in 2 more sawmills. And then we're going to come over here and completely remove all that. And then I want to look at our biomass pellet plants. And again, we're not going to put them off this back road. In fact, it looks like we can come right across like that and be able to fit in a couple of these as well. Now, we may not have quite enough production here in terms of raw resources to support all this. And if that becomes the case, that's not a huge problem. Simply because, let me go ahead and throw in one more of these, and that should be fine. I think these guys have pretty high output, yeah. So I want both of those to be on paper. The reason it's not going to be a problem if we're not quite supplying everything we need is we are going to be eventually moving up that hill. We have an electricity problem. We are going to be moving up this hill, and Stirling Davies has his eye on a lot of this land back here. Some of it will go for residential development. We'll probably do a lot of grading here with a new highway interchange that will also, actually it'd probably be more here, with a new highway interchange here that will not only benefit his forestry industry, but it will also benefit the city because they have their eyes on annexing this big plateau up here that's nestled in amongst these ridges for a big portion of their winter entertainment plans. This big hill right here presents a problem. Like, the ideal spot for such highway interchange would be right here, because we've kind of got a natural slope we can work with. But then if we want traffic to come off on the other side as well, that's a bit more problematic. We could do another interchange right here. That would be more of a straight shot up there. I don't know. There's a lot to look at. And that's also all problems for future rent. And right now, we have an issue with power. Have we unlocked? We have unlocked geothermal plant. And this is something the city has also committed to. Again, there's such an unspoiled natural area. And they want to try to maintain that as much as possible. They want to commit to green policies and have that as a driving ethos for the town. So I'm very glad that we've got the geothermal plants. In fact, because of that, so let's see, our usage right now is 125. Each of these puts out 80. What we can do is go ahead and decommission all of that and get rid of that polluting power and bring in a second geothermal plant and be right there at 160 and meet all of the town's power needs. Don't worry about this traffic. They're just coming to try to fill up this guy here. That's all that's happening. They're fighting to get it. And there we go. We finally got that upgrade that I was looking for, because we are going to see even more expansion if I can make it fit. I don't know if it's going to fit. So we have the furniture factory, and it's oriented that way. Oof, that's... So our options would be to boot out some existing industry. Or bring this in back here, but then we have significant elevation problems back there. I think what we're going to do is see about buying out some existing industries, if I can English properly, and going that route. And I think we can make that fit right here. Will it really not? Is that police station in the way? That's fine. We will go right here instead. No, space still already occupied by what? Is it just the path that it's having problems with? Shouldn't be. It should let me build that right on top of the path. Is there a city service here? I know that I see the police station. There's just the police station there. So, road maintenance depot, box factory, household goods, print shop. I'm not really sure what's going on there. That wasn't an actual road. Why did that delete all those buildings? I don't know. So let's try this again. I'd really like to get this furniture factory. It was the path. Wait. Oh, that is that was an actual road. Oops. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. They don't miss it any. And then we could make a connection here, and I think there's some benefit in doing so, just to keep all this traffic from having to go down here through the main junction in town and bring that right over this way. In fact, we are going to switch this, since there's nothing in it yet, to unique factory products. I think we'll be okay to do that. And then this guy, it'll take him a little bit to get his plain timber and to get his paper. Plain timber has to come from all the way over here, but it's not that far of a drive. And we are going to expand out the industry area. Even though these operate just fine outside of an industry area, we want to make sure that, you know, we've set this aside as part of Mr. Davies' business. He has made these capital expenditures to bring even more jobs to the city. So we want to make sure that he is getting the benefit from that. So I'm going to come in here and de-zone all around this. And I don't think... There's a little bit of green here. Because what I'm thinking is we could even have a small little zone that's a dedicated forestry area. We'll try it. If it turns out that it's just not going to work, well, then we will undo it and just leave it unzoned around there and do some landscaping and be done with this area. But I'd like to give it a shot. So we are going to go in here, paint that for forestry, and then selectively come back in. I know we just got rid of them, but selectively come back in with just a few targeted areas here. Not a lot, but we do have the industrial demand, so it would be a good idea to take advantage of that. So we've got our heavy polluters down here. These guys do pollute. Not a lot, but they do pollute. These dudes, just noise. So that's fine. That way we don't have any pollution down here where our resources are growing, and everything processes into plain timber, paper, and out of the city. Or over there and then out of the city. So we're looking good. I'm feeling good about this, except for the fact that we are importing quite a bit at the moment. But that's just a mechanic of the game. So we want to rename this to... we're gonna Davies... Davies Wood. I'm sorry. I'm a child. I mean, the channel has the moniker of world's oldest 15-year-old. You should come to expect these things. So, yeah, we've got our headquarters right there. The only paved street in the area. But I like it. When you drive by, you can see this is a big employer. And I don't think it would be something you would want to hide. I think the city would, at this stage, at 6,600 people, would be quite proud to have such a prominent employer in the area. With the ability to have 400 workers, which we're going to need to bump that up if we're going to upgrade. But for now, we'll worry about our production, because we can always kind of cheese it a little bit. Now that we have the barracks, we can just kind of expand it out, get some barracks in temporarily. I know it's cheesy to do it temporarily like that, but I do it that way. And I love these buildings that are growing up next to it. They fit so well. They just absolutely fit well. Then, you know, we just have a couple lots of trees, and that's fine. Not operating, why not? Not enough workers yet. Cool. So, keeping with the idea of the city really wanting to celebrate its natural beauty, we are going to do something that may seem odd, but we are going to have a nature reserve that starts here, a very small nature reserve, right by there, right by the highway, right by the pumping stations. And you may think that's just a terrible place for a nature reserve. And, you know, I would be inclined to agree with you if it weren't for the fact that I spent the majority of my adult years living in Springfield, Missouri. And maybe 2 miles from my house was the Nature Center. I forget its exact name. I mentioned it recently in comments on City Planner Plays channel when he was asking about sending in links to some of your favorite places that you had seen. And I loved the Nature Center. And the interesting thing is, and I'll try to remember to get a screenshot of it on Google Maps, it was nestled in right by actually 2 major highways, the intersection of them, that came through town. And I mean big, like Highway 65 was one of them, and then a bypass, Highway 60, I believe. And that led right up to Interstate 44 on 65, plus you could take 60 around and get to 44 because it looped all the way around town. Hundreds of thousands of vehicles pour through there every day. Not maybe 10 years ago, the area had a massive infrastructure upgrade to the interchange itself. And nestled right there in the corner is the Nature Center. And it works because of the landscaping, the terrain, the fact that the highway had to build big sound barriers. lots of different things went into just making it work. Granted, it's not a camping center. You know, you don't go camping, you don't go hunting there. In fact, I'm pretty sure both are not allowed. It does have operating hours and it closes at night. But I think that we can get away with it here. So I want to look at our elevation, and I want to kind of just focus on this hill right here. So I'm going to turn off all my snap twos. And I kind of want to roughly follow this dark line, just very roughly. Not going to be exact. I'm not going to worry about making it perfect. I just want to get this in here. And while we're bringing this through, I want to ask you guys your thoughts on something that was recently proposed to me by a friend. My good friend Destin. I have known him for years. We started out playing GTA Online together. He has, in the past 6 months to a year, gotten into Cities Skylines. When I'm streaming Cities Skylines, you can guarantee he's there every time. And he had a suggestion the other day of maybe co-building a city, where I would have it for a while and then he would have it for a while, and we would go back and forth in that spirit and just kind of building a city together. I like the idea a lot, but what I'm wondering is what you all think about it. Would you like to see something like that? He does not have a YouTube channel. He doesn't have a Twitch channel. As far as I know, he's not interested in doing either of those things. So what you would see here on my channel would be my side of things and then getting it from him and taking it from there. I think I'm going to, do it regardless of whether we make a YouTube series out of it or not. But I'm just curious to know if there's interest out there in having a city that is built by me, a guy who does okay with City Skylines. I've been playing city builders since SimCity was in its MS-DOS days. So that tells you how long I've been playing city builders. Played all the way through the most recent SimCity, which, as we all know, was terrible, and we don't need to talk about that. And then, of course, now City Skylines. I love city builders. They're one of my favorite games. Not the only games I play, obviously, since I have a variety channel. But I've gotten a lot of people into them over the years as well. And I think Kiltastic's one of them. Or Destin, sorry. I mentioned by his old online name. So we're going to put a well down here, just as a place for both of these campsites. Are going to be here to get that. And we're even going to give them a place to get some firewood. And I don't think I have fire pits yet, do I? I do. Good. We're going to throw in a fire pit. Ooh, I built that a little too close. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below if that is something you would like to see. A city that is built by me and a friend. I think it could be fun. I don't know how he would actually, I guess, through the comments, he would be able to participate with everybody. That is huge. That's massive. What's this other one look like? I've never really realized how big that was. Yeah, I think I like that one better. That's just a bit too big for just a tent camping site. Oh, what do I know? I don't go camping. My argument against camping is evolution gave us a brain that was able to create engineers and architects. Don't tell RCE I said architect. But all these people who can make shelter so that we can not have to live out in nature. I don't understand why people then turn around and go back out to nature. I hate camping. I hate camping. I generally dislike the outdoors, which is so funny because I live in an area, like I'm surrounded by woods on just about every side. and the lake is like a block away. And yet I do not like, I am not a nature person. I like getting out on the water in a boat, just kind of trawling around or take people skiing or whatever. Why is this? There we go. We'll just have to have a funky path here. Come on, let me... This is not cooperating with me. So, fine. We will just move it and just put it where we want it. There. That's how I wanted that to be. So then I just want to come in and add just a few more trees in here just to give these areas just a little bit of seclusion. Because again, they are right next to a big highway. Granted, there's not a lot of noise from the highway over here. And yeah, I know I could use a forest brush tool, but I kind of like watching the trees twirl. I don't know why. I just do. It's not something I usually do, place tree by tree by tree. I usually use a forest brush. But there's just something about these snow-covered evergreens that just looks cool as they twirl about. So we're going to stick with it. Oh my gosh, I hear helicopters. Where's the fire? It's not too bad. Just one little block. Could be worse. And then we will give these guys a bit of seclusion. Don't want to just plant them in a straight line, though. Want it to look a little natural. I don't know. So nobody's ever really changed my mind about the whole outdoors thing. People are like, "Oh, you just haven't gone camping right." I'm like, "No, so I'll try it every once in a while. Every 5 or 10 years, somebody will convince me that they've got something that will make it enjoyable." And every time I go in with a positive attitude, but every time I come back out, like, yeah, it's the worst thing I've ever done. I am gonna go inside my house where there's internet and screens to keep the bugs out, and doors to keep the wildlife out, and temperature controls, and all of that good stuff. I'm not an outdoorsy boy. So the city is in pretty good shape. We've actually come up quite a bit. I mean, we hit that last milestone, and we have gone another 300 above that, and I've only zoned industry. That is the only thing we've zoned. So what we're seeing is slowly but surely more and more houses starting to upgrade. We do have our land value problem mostly resolved back there. One final thing we could do is maybe bring in a small park. Let's look at what we've got going on here. No matter what, it's not really going to fit in the best except for right here maybe. So I think that's where we will go. And of course, I think we need everybody's favorite, because what a lovely place to take your dog walking, but right there at the mountain's edge. I like it. The foot of the hills, is that what it's called? Yeah. And that may even have helped our land value back there just a little bit. I'm not sure. Before we go, I do want to check on education, because that is going to be the next thing that we are going to tackle in the city. Haven't quite decided yet where we're going to build it, though. Maybe out over here, though. Man, this is some really high dollar real estate. So that we do have a good start on a nature center. I'm very pleased with it. I am going to do an advertisement campaign. I am going to come over here and do an advertisement campaign because I want to get this one upgraded. So we're also going to make this one the main park for now, just to get even more people drawn over here. Because I would like to get some upgrades here. We're good on our entertainment level, but we're just shy. As a matter of fact, this will take care of it. It's gonna boop right up, and then we'll get this one over there eventually. But we are going to work our way with some footpaths out across over here. There's no plans for ferries or anything like that in this area. So we're just going to use just some bridges that come across and get people to this area. And then eventually we can maybe even have another gate over here. But I think the city is in really good shape. I like where we have gone. And we've only ran it in pretty much normal speed this whole time, so we're looking really good. Davies Lumber looking fantastic. Look at that, 339 out of 396 workers in a town with only 2% unemployment. To have an industry that packed with unemployment that low, that's a good feeling. It really, really is. I wonder if we have any tourists. We do, 36. What they're coming to see, I don't know. Maybe the Christmas tree. Oh, hey, speaking of the park upgrading, it has done so. But we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or these railroad tracks, please hit the like button and get subscribed if you're not already. I would love to have you, or I would love to have you. That sounded terrible. I would love to have you. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.